And when either the internal state or the external state is changing and the brain's predictions aren't matching the sensory information, that's when the brain activates the sympathetic nervous system. Brains work hard to minimize surprise for their owners by creating top-down predictions and running them up against bottom-up sensory data. So let's just look at an example. When the predictions match the sensory data, we get in the car, we're off on the way to work, and we know it's going to take 20 minutes. We're fine, we're calm. The prediction error signal is low to 0. The model in our head, how long the journey is going to take and how we're going to get there, matches the sensory data. So there's no real contribution to our perceptions, really. We don't need to really dive deeper into the sense is coming in, that data, because we've got a good model. And there's no change in the amount of energy required by the brain. It doesn't need to gather any more information, it can run its model. But we get in the car and we immediately hit an unexpected traffic jam. The brain's predictions no longer match sensory data. The prediction error signal is now much higher. Brains need to rescan the sensory information they're collecting with much more detail, working out alternative routes, working out what the hell's going on. Is this a temporary traffic light? Is this an accident? Allowing more sensory data in to inform its model. This creates a large change in the amount of energy required in the brain. And where does the brain get the energy from? You guessed it, it activates the sympathetic nervous system, which actually releases glycogen, stored blood sugar, from muscles and the liver, so we've got more energy available to gather more sensory information or to take action in the world, because that's where that system originally evolved. When there was a change in the environment, we usually had to take some kind of physical action when we were hunter-gatherers. So when there's a large prediction error signal, how does the brain reduce that error signal? We might say something like, okay, what does the GPS app say? If it doesn't move in 5 minutes, I'll have to ring in and say I'm going to be late. What the brain actually does is it gathers more information to update its predictions. This requires energy and effort across the body and brain, so the predictions improve, reducing the size of the error signal. Or the brain takes action in the world through behaviours, thoughts or feelings to bring the predicted state in line with the perceived state. Here the error signal is reduced because actions in the room or in the car or across our bodies have changed the experience of the body, brain and mind. So for example, we might take an alternative route, which means that we might end up only 5 minutes late rather than 20 minutes late. But both those processes, gathering more information or taking action, require more energy.